This Sakya monastery has such a rich history, including being the first Sakya monastery in India.
It was the very first base of His Holiness the 41st Sakya Rinpoche in India. And it was also the monastic seat of the greatly learned scholar and master Khenchen Sangye Tenzin.
This monastery is our first monastery in India. And it is a very historical monastery because so many great masters, including His Holiness the Dalai Lama, have visited here and given many precious teachings. And I myself also, the first ceremonies and religious rituals activities are him being here, and I participated. At that time, the conditions were very poor because there's only temple. There's no monks' quarters. There are no other rooms. I myself also, I didn't live here. I stayed in Darjeeling and then come to participate the pujas and events here, and then go back. So this time now it is everything is completed.
For me, this Sakya monastery, it holds such a precious place in my heart. It's so important because it's the first place, the first monastery that I received Lamdre, the Sakya Lamdre teachings when I was 5 years old from my late grandfather and my root guru, His Holiness Bachin Jira Doje Cham. I even celebrated my 6th birthday here, which was a very beautiful, precious memory. This monastery is one of the 2 monasteries in the world that performs and continues the special Sakya Tsechu Guru Michi practice, which we call the Sakya Tuduk Doj Guru Doje Thaposam practice. This practice, Tsechu practice, is also very important to us in the Putsuporang as well, because His Holiness Bachin Jira Doje Cham once said that in Putsuporang, back then, we used to do this Guru Lojin Tapasa practice, this puja every 10th day on Guru Rinpoche Day. And but over the years after that, we weren't able to continue it, but hope that we can revive it through the help of Sakya Guru Monastery. So this practice itself is so important, not just in terms of preserving and helping beneficial for Tibetan Buddhism to be able to sustain in general, but for all sentient beings, and to be able to continue and preserve the Sakya teachings. Years ago, knowing that the monastery not having a head lama, there were some difficulties, and that did worry me a bit.
This monastery mostly run by just monks only. The ordinary monks been running the monastery for many years, and it needs a head of the monastery.
But later, when I heard the news that Ghoom Monastery requested my cousin, His Eminence Asanga Rinpoche, to be the head lama, to be able to lead and to be instated this instatement ceremony, and to be the head lama, to be guiding them, and with the support of His Holiness Sakya Ghoom Rinpoche, I was more than delighted and really happy, and even relieved that they were in good hands.
So this time, when Asanga Rinpoche is accepted to be the head lama of this monastery, we are very, very happy and satisfied and relieved about the situation.
Khondung Asanga Rinpoche himself. Since he was young, I know him. From very young age, he's very disciplined and also putting effort in his studies. And at very young age, he has done many achievements, especially in the ritual ceremonies, and especially in our tradition, the main exam is vajra exam, which he has done when he was only 12 years old. So he's very special from a very young age.
And Asanga Rinpoche, we were very close. And since from a very young age, when he moved at the age of 6 to Asia, in Nepal and India, there will be many months that we spend time together, whether it's receiving teachings or empowerments from our gurus and traveling around the world and so on and so forth. So being like a close brother to me, I know how over the years being guided and receiving teachings from great masters like His Holiness Sakya His Holiness the late Dachinjira Doje-chang, and His Holiness the 42nd and 43rd Sakya Twinsen Dodin Khenchen Doje-chang, Joje Tijin Rinpoche, Khenchen Sonam Gyatso, and so many other masters being guided and being educated by them.
And then later he studied higher Buddhist philosophy, and during those time also he is very disciplined, and then became learned, and also he's historian. He researched many texts, so he really loves to preserve our rich culture. As we can see from his appearance, that how strong he is in preserving our rich culture.
And also on top of that, knowing that he has such a passion on not just preserving the Sakya teachings, but the Sakya history, which is so important for this day and age, and to be able to share those knowledge and wisdom for future generations as well.
I'm very happy that this time we are participating in this instatement of Khondung Asanga Rinpoche.
This time in Ghoom monastery, there's a big instatement ceremony for Khondung Asanga Vajra Rinpoche, and I'm very happy about this.
I'm very, very happy to be here, to be able to attend this ceremony, this historical, important event, to be able to come and support my cousin, His Eminence Asanga Rinpoche's instatement ceremony, being the head lama of this monastery, the Sakya Guru Ghoom monastery.
I feel very honored. I believe it is the result of lots of good karma collected in many past lives to be instated as the head of this monastery. To all of the fellow human beings in this world, those who I have met personally, as well as those who I have not met, and to the people of Darjeeling, I would like to extend my warmest greetings and Tashidelek. for me, is the start of a new chapter in my life, because along with the instatement ceremony here, Darjeeling has now become my home. And so it will be the place where I will be living most of the time in India. And being the head lama of this monastery is actually not an easy task. It comes along with a lot of heavy responsibilities. But I hope that through the blessings and the compassion, the kindness, and the guidance of His Holiness the 41st Sakya Teacher Rinpoche, I can successfully oversee the continuation of the Buddhist practices here at this monastery, as well as to further develop it in any way possible. And I hope to fulfill the wishes of the monastery Sangha members.
My message is that under the leadership of Asanga Rinpoche and the General Assembly of the monks, that it is very important to study the philosophical texts and then also to practice it, so that not only the rituals and outward teachings, but the inner experience be developed, and we be able to hold the true teachings of the Lord Buddha.
I think the monks of the Ghoom Sakya Monastery are very fortunate to have Khondung Asanga Rinpoche as the head of the monastery. I'm very confident that he will lead this monastery towards more and more positive results. And also, I'm very confident that the monks are very faithful, and they are, I think, eager to have Khondung Asanga Rinpoche as their guru, the head of the monastery. And so with these two together, I'm confident that it will improve not only the external part of the monastery, but mainly the internal part of the monastery, or it will improve the education, the ritual, the culture, and also Khondung Asanga Rinpoche will continue to start some old culture that are not here in the past. So it will improve from all different parts. It's a very good sign.
I know for sure that through his guidance and wisdom, that this monastery, the Sakya Ghoom monastery, will be able to preserve the rich history and the rich practices, including the Tulubuje Tapotsal, that can benefit the community and to Sakya in general, and to all sentient beings, to be able to clear the obstacles and to spread the teachings, to succeed in all the activities of Sakya.
In the past, people were sort of just staying in each of their respective countries, and they could not travel around the world before technology, the modern technology, was invented. But since the modern technology has been invented, the world has sort of become like a smaller place, because everything is now more connected. Everyone can connect with each other, can travel around easily. And so therefore, technology, or you could call it social media, is very powerful. And for us, for a teacher, a Buddhist teacher like myself, and many others like myself, I believe that social media, or you could call it modern technology, can actually serve as a very useful tool to propagate the teachings of Lord Buddha, such as the teachings of loving kindness, compassion, and universal peace.
Recently, a few years ago, he founded the Sakya History Resource, And through that, and through the technological devices in social media these days, he's able to share certain rich stories and history of great masters of Sakya, along with the days of their anniversaries and memorial days and birthdays and so on and so forth. They're updating and sharing the world. It's so important now in this day and age where young generations are where we're so dependent on technology and devices, to be able to see and learn from that and to have a creative way to present it, I think is so helpful.
So it is a very satisfying to see that the young generation Rinpoches are taking care of. Like my generation now are getting old and could not do much, but the young generations, they not only study hard, but also gain experience how to run the monastery and how to continue the great tradition of the Sakya order. So it's a great, and especially with now in this internet area time, that everything has a lot of technologies. Through these technologies will be used in a positive way to propagate the Dharma and to educate the people, so that people will become better mind and better behavior and better practitioners.